is unbelievable. That is unbelievable, man.
Good evening and welcome to the Clipsal Powerhouse in Adelaide for the first game in a 5-game series between the Magic Johnson All-Stars and the Australian Boomers. It's a series both teams have been looking forward to, especially the Boomers, because it gives them a chance to play against some of the best in the world. For Magic Johnson and his All-Star team, it's the opportunity of a lifetime, as he explains in this exclusive interview with our commentator, Phil Lynch.
Like, I'm thankful to be here in Australia, whether people know that or not, because I've always heard about it. I've always wanted to come, and maybe I've come like a month or two too late that I wanted to come, because I wanted to come when it's opposite season, it's hot here. But I've always wanted to see what was basketball like here, because I've heard about it. So I'm gonna get the first-hand look. And people keep asking me to buy a team here, so I mean, all the fans here and the media, what's about that? I should buy a team.
Come back.
Well, I'll be back.
Well, it's a crowd approaching 7,000 here at the Clipsal Powerhouse in Adelaide for what is going to be a tremendous showdown. Magic Johnson, his debut in Australia with his All-Stars up against the Australian Boomers. And let's go through those starting fives. We start with the Magic All-Stars. Irving Magic Johnson, the captain and coach. We've got John Long, Mike McGee, Mark Aguirre and Lester Connor. For the Australian Boomers, Andrew Vlahoff, the Perth Wildcat, will lead them. Pat Reedy, John Dodge will play centre. Mark Davis, the naturalised Australian, playing out of his home court here in Adelaide. And Brett Maher, also another 36er, he'll run the point guard. So almost in readiness, and what a start we should have as these two sides try and size one another up and work out exactly how they're going to attack this. Of course, John Dawes, well, he's going to take the tip. Vlahoff, it would appear, has got the job on Magic.
It looks that way. They're looking at each other at the moment. We won't see till they get the ball in their hands till we find out who picks up whom, but it's going to be John Dawes to jump centre against Magic. I'm not sure Big John has jumped against too many point guards, but you can see Dawes has got a couple of inches over at 6'11", a couple of inches over Magic Johnson.
Oh, it's just a special night, not only for the players, but for everyone here in the Clipsal Powerhouse in Adelaide. Magic Johnson, a name synonymous with the game, arguably the greatest ever. Certainly his record with the Lakers from the Forum is outstanding. And here he is in Australia. Jeff Weeks about to get us underway.
And Magic didn't even contest the tip. Let Dodge have it. So Australia with the first possession of the basketball. They'll shift this ball around pretty well to try and find the openings. Dodge headed for the hoop, but it was stripped away from him. In fact, stripped off his leg. John Long it was who got a hand on that, and it came off Dodge's leg. And you'll see Dodge with a huge knee brace on his leg. John has had a lot of trouble with that knee. Let's hope he can get it right before Atlanta. The first shot goes up, and it's a sweet one coming from Mark Aguirre. Vlahoff tried the quick reply, and it's run down by Patrick Reedy. Tried the dish over the top, but Magic was a waste of that. 8-1 they led it. Aguirre again. And Mark Aguirre with 7 points in this game. He scored 7 of the All-Stars, 10 points.
And just can't seem to miss at the moment. He does look like he's carrying a little bit of excess baggage there, but
he's always played that way, always been heavy. Patrick Reedy finally hits a three.
Well, 14-4, the All-Stars led it, and you just get the impression that the Boomers just really don't know what to do at the moment.
They've got their problems out there at the moment. And Mark Davis muscles it up against John Long. They need a couple of those, but the quick reply that comes from McGee.
See if Ricky Grace can influence the game. He'll take it to the hoop, no room, dishes to Blakemore, 2 points, that's much better.
Great drive and dish from Ricky Grace. Just put it into Blakemore's hands at the right time, exactly what was required right there on that play. Magic, the dump pass on the inside, and we've got 2 shots coming as it went to John Long, and Long will go to the free throw line. Have a look at this pass again. On the inside, we just caught the end of it, but Magic with it, just an absolute no-look pass. Well, we reckon he's thrown 9,000 assists in his NBA career. 5,000 of those were without looking.
Long goes to the stripe. The All-Stars lead at 21-10 at this stage.
John Long has an interesting story, John. He was one player who was traded twice in 1 week in 1986. He was traded from Detroit to Seattle and Seattle to Indiana. He must have felt like he was in a pinball machine or something.
Just a revolving door. Just he landed one place and was turned around back on an airplane and off he went again.
But that's the kind of business these guys are in. That's the sort of thing that can happen. We're halfway through the first quarter here. 23-10. The All-Stars lead it. Mike Mackay thought about the three, and then I think he thought about the instructions from Barry Barton that last time out and pulled the trigger off it. Lahol, good strong move, and a strong move on the end from Blakemore. Good follow-up stuff from Blakemore. He's made a real impression. Magic in the corner to Long for three, and sweet shot.
Absolutely outstanding, John Long. 10 points. He's 2 from 2 outside three-point range.
Barry Barnes will be watching what sort of job Ricky Grace can do quarterbacking this team. It's his first time in Australian colours, and he really wants some leadership from him out there. Everything he's done so far has been right. Here's Ricky now. Pulls it up and shoots it that time. He's done everything absolutely perfectly so far.
And you just wonder if the All-Stars can keep up that sort of pace. I mean, their shooting percentage has been extraordinary so far.
They've missed Connor with the rebound. They haven't had to do too much offensive rebound. That's 2 misses in a row, but underneath, Mark Aguirre bullocked his way inside Chris Blakemore that time. Mentioned at the top of the program, this is not a big lineup they've got out there. Apart from Magic at 6'9", Aguirre is the big man at 6'6". Australia with Brett Wheeler out there, and stolen off him by John Long, and all the way to the hoop for 2 easy runs.
Now that's just something that the Boomers cannot afford to do at this stage. They're down by 16. It's 35-19, 3:30 remaining. And John Long goes to the hoop, and 2 more for the All-Stars. This is where it's been breaking down. There hasn't been enough movement. There's been bad passes. They're shooting low percentages. That's a bit better.
Ricky Grace gets the friendly roll. He'll go to the line as well for an extra free throw. The offense is really starting to click along nicely. Super move there from Ricky Grace. He'll get the bonus free throw as well. And substitutions coming from the All-Stars bench. Mark Aguirre takes a seat. Marchell Henry has come in.
And Aguirre sits with 14 points. The 35 we've seen here in the first quarter from the All-Stars. Grace can't convert. They're off and running again.
Long with the dish, and a charge call on John Long. Good defensive position taken there by Ricky Grace. We talked about Aguirre going to the bench. We'll have a look at this replay. There's John Long, and great defensive position there taken by Ricky Grace, but Aguirre has gone back into the game, so he had about a 15-second spell.
Long sits, that was his third.
So it's just as Blakemore was saying, thank God I've got rid of Aguirre. The third foul brings him back in again. Terrific rebound there from Chris Blakemore. Oh, what a super move. He absolutely skied for that and then reversed with the lay-in.
Aguirre's strength,
And
Connor was
a
brilliant.
travel there that they might have called.
Farmer.
Well, the nice friendly roll. That's the sign of a good shooter. When you hit up one that clangs around like that and it falls for you, you've got to be a good shooter.
That's all the Boomers need at this stage. Another hot hand. They're down by 14, 39-25, getting close to the last minute here in the first quarter. And their defense as well from the All-Stars has been outstanding, and so is that from Ricky Grace.
We got that substitution.
They've narrowed this gap to 12, and I say it was out further than that. Oh, what a magic pass. It wasn't Magic who made it, but they come back and can't make the stick back, but it will be the All-Stars ball again.
And they could milk the clock here, get the final shot there. You see it's 16.4 seconds left here in the opening term. Aguirre says, I'll shoot it.
He didn't worry about shifting it around, going for that last shot. He will give Australia the last shot, and they can get this back to single figures at the end of the first quarter. The problem they've got is the All-Stars have shot 40 points in the first quarter. Now Reedy for three. No basket for Patrick Reedy, and that's all she wrote for the first quarter here at the Clipsal Powerhouse. It's the Magic Johnson All-Stars 40, Australia 28, and they have some problems.
Well, we're about to get into action here in the second quarter. A couple of changes for the All-Stars. We're going to see Patrick Eadie for the first time. We're also going to see Michael Eaton, a 6-foot guard, for the first time. His last match for the All-Stars in Indiana picked up 19 points. So can play as well. Eadie, of course, there on your screen.
Well, the Magic's team is starting with Magic himself on the sideline along with John Long. Now, Long is sitting there with 3 fouls, so he's got problems. And that will help Australia because he is one of their guns. So Farmer out there playing the forward spot and guarding Patrick Reedy. Blakemore is on the bench and Blahoff is back out there. Nothing first time down the floor as Eaton gets it into the hands of Farmer. Farmer can't stick that, but he does get another opportunity, and that will be a charge. Brent Wheeler looked up and saw Farmer coming at him. He had no choice about holding his position. He couldn't get out of the way fast enough.
Here we'll see it again. Jim Farmer didn't like the call, but it looks pretty obvious from here in the replay that it was too physical. I guess that's an adjustment that the All-Stars are going to have to make as well. They're used to a more physical game. You may get away with, well, perhaps you wouldn't get away with that, but
well,
you will get away with
sometimes you can, because that's very much a judgment thing the referees say. If you're that close to the basket, they'll often let things go. They didn't on that occasion. Henry drags down the rebound off an errant Reedy shot, and Patrick Reedy just hasn't got a feel for it so far in the game. He can string some, though, together. Now they're making them put some more passes together. They get in the hands of Henry, and he makes the 3. So they've stopped them from that 2 and 3 pass shot. That time they put together 5 or 6 and still made it. So it's an idea of the defensive problems they've got out there.
Marshall Henry hitting there, 6'6". Averages 7 points a game for the All-Stars, played in South America and the CBA in the United States. It's just chock full of talent, this team, and at the moment lead it by 15, 43-28.
Reedy, that was an absolute brick. His last 2 shots, the last one almost went over the top of the rim. That one was way out to the right. They're very lucky to get the ball back. I think Patrick would do well to just shift the ball around a bit till he starts to get that feel back a bit. Good pass underneath that Blakemore couldn't handle.
The All-Stars have pressured them out of it again. This is small. Great block, Blahoff.
Blahoff got it, but the follow-up was there.
Marshall Henry. Well, let's see if they can get something this trip down the floor. They badly need to score here, the Boomers. 52-34 at this stage. They'll set it up, work something out here. Perhaps they'll go inside and maybe try and isolate Patrick Eadie, who at this stage, Mackay takes the shot, and 2 points.
Mike Mackay's first points of the ball game.
No, blocking first.
And comes up with a foul at the other end. The foul goes against Brett Maher.
Take it to the side here now.
So again, there's 3 Adelaide Super Sixers on the court with Davis, Maher and Mackay.
Now, offense don't hook, defense don't hang on. Here we go.
What you hear is the instructions. The men in the low post there having their own little game. Almost a turnover. Outside they go to Eddie. That's not his shot, obviously. And Marshall Henry loses the handle on that one, and Blahoff it is who grabs it and finally it falls to Dawes.
This is better from the Boomers. Maher, will he take the shot?
Tried to dump it on the inside to Dawes, but Connor, it was who came across and picked that one off. I'm interested to see, John, whether they attack Connor on the inside. Well, they can't attack him anymore because he's coming out of the game, and Aguirre's coming out. Well, Connor looks fairly gassed. I'm sorry, it was Patrick Eadie looked very gassed.
3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds.
Maher, 3 points. Won't go. Davis, the rebound, usually eats these 2 very valuable points. It's 52-38, 6:50 remaining until half-time. The All-Stars are off again. Inside they go to Magic, looking for a pass. He's got man free, it's McGee, won't use him, backs into Blahoff.
Oh, good defensive effort from Mike Mackay. He started double teaming, went away, let Magic know that he had a one-on-one, and then came back and pinched the ball. But they can't get the rewards at the other end. That will be an Australian ball, but they really needed Mark Davis to stick that.
Good work by Vlahoff, the skipper, trying to lead by example. In the absence of Andrew Gaze playing in Greece at the moment, he's got the ball again, working very hard.
Another point we could bring up, John, talking about Andrew Gaze playing in Greece. The sort of offence Australia's running is one that they play for Andrew Gaze. It's designed a lot to get the ball into his hands to shoot, but it's not working. Well, that's symptomatic of the kind of night Australia's have, because you're not ever going to see Andrew Vlahoff miss a shot like that. And Magic comes across and just takes 1 on 5 at the other end.
Oh, well, when you're hot, you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. And that is the story of the game. 4:50 remaining second quarter. 58-40, the All-Stars lead by 18, and the Boomers just cannot buy anything. Vlahoff for 3, he makes amends.
How do you miss a layup and then make a 3? That was a 4-point swing right there, where he missed the 2 at one end and gave Magic 2 at the other. So he really had to make that 3 coming back.
Down by 15, the Boomers. I think they're really going to have to try and take the mistakes, the errors out of their game. Work hard on defence. Maguire misses. And Marr brings the ball up the court. 4:23 remaining second quarter. They'll set it up, and they need a percentage basket.
I like to think as the game wears on, this Australian team will get better from a couple of points of view. They'll get rid of the early nerves. And 2, I think they'll be in pretty good shape too. I mean, they're playing against some guys with some old legs out there. If they're going to run them up and down the floor, they'll get tired at the end of the game, as long as Australia can stick right at it.
Well, as we approach half-time, both sides are shooting around 50%. Would you believe the All-Stars are shooting something like 53% outside the three-point line, and that's the highest category of all categories.
Yeah, the big difference right now, though, John, is we watch this move here from Mark Aguirre, and that is very difficult to stop when you've got those kind of moves. The difference is at the free throw line. They've shot 12 of 14 off the free throw line. Australia's 1 of 3. And there's 11-point difference right there, and that's almost the difference in the ball game.
Well, he said when he arrived in town, Magic Johnson, that he was here to win, and he's certainly revved up for this one. His first match in Australia. 7,000 people here in Adelaide as John Long goes to the hoop, can't buy it, gets his own rebound, misses again. And here's a chance for the Boomers. Mark Davis on his home court.
They've got numbers here if they 5 on 3, but they can't use them. Now they get into open Mark Davis. And Vlahoff skied for the rebound and makes another 2.
Vlahoff in the double figures. He's got 10. Blakemore has 10. And the lead is back to 11.
Aguirre almost a travel.
Brett Mars picks up the steal.
You're on your own,
2
Brett.
points.
And it's back to a single-figure lead, and it hasn't been that way since the start of the game.
3 minutes left till half-time. The Boomers are on a run. And just maybe the All-Stars are going to find it tougher against younger and fitter legs in the second stanza.
Magic take over. Always when you get to that situation, when a team's on a run, a superstar like Magic is going to say, give the ball to me, I'll get us 2.
What a pleasure it is to have him in Australia, his debut match. For a long time he's wanted to come back to come to Australia, and the good news is, after speaking with him today, that he intends to come back and tour again, and also brought up the question of buying a team here, which of course has been widely reported in the media. He says if he can find the right team, why not?
I'm not so sure about that, Stuart. I think he's got his tongue fairly firmly in his cheek when he talks about that, but we'll wait and see. Here's Paul Rees looking to take on Mike McGee. The big hook, that was a very ambitious hook, and it ended up not only in a missed shot, but a foul over the back by Mark Davis. And they're going to see the All-Stars walk to the other end and shoot a pair, because Australia's over the limit on fouls in this quarter. And of course the other rule change we're going to see here, the new rule that's come in this year, no 1-on-1 anymore. You're going to see a pair of free throws off the free throw line. Obviously to stop players going out and racking up fouls in an attempt to get the ball back. Now you put the man on the line to shoot 2.
2:24 remaining until half-time. The All-Stars about to make a couple of changes. Marshall Henry and Jim Farmer sit in front of us, preparing to come on.
Yes, I think you might see the subs come a little thicker and fast now, because they'll want to get some fresh legs out there. Australia started to run at them, got that lead back to 9. Now it's out to 13 again. Plenty of ball movement from the Aussies this time. Davis double teamed underneath and did well to hang on to that one.
Set it up again. This is Brett Maher, the youngster, the point guard, takes it to the hoop. Good move. Got it back again and shoots. This time there's a foul.
And the foul is underneath the hoop. Not sure that was on the shooter. Yes, it is. We're going to see 2 shots.
Foul on John Long. That is trouble number 4.
Okay.
He sits down straight away, John Long.
Just through here.
And certainly not without some problems of their own, particularly in foul trouble, John Long. Mark Aguirre, he'll sit down as well. He goes to the bench with 19, leads the game. 1:57 remaining till half-time. Important baskets here for Brett Maher and the Boomers. Down by 13. I dare say he's been spending hours on that stripe here, trading for the 36ers, Phil.
Well, he's always been a great free throw shooter. Brett, too, came out in the opening 5 minutes and played at the point guard spot. And I think by his own standards would say he didn't play all that well. Started to pick up now after Ricky Grace came in and steadied the ship. Brett has come back in and playing some good minutes right now.
McGee's got it. Maher steals it. Here's a chance. Davis takes it to the hoop. Can't buy it. Maher mops up.
That's an unusual one of Davis missing with the layup and Brett Maher rebounding on the other side. You're used to seeing that one go the other way.
They'll take them any way they can at the moment. They're down by 14. Magic wants the last shot. 8 seconds and counting. He'll take Reedy on. Davis has stolen it. He'll get a shot away. 1 second.
Yes.
Scores.
So reduce that margin right before half-time. They got it back to 12. 67 plays 55, but a lot of quarter for the Boomers. Remember, they gave the Magic Johnson All-Stars 40 points in the first quarter, kept that to 27 in the second.
Yes, they scored 27 points apiece there in the second quarter. It is 67-55. We'll be back with more from the Powerhouse right after this.
0 minus 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Do it again.
On Wednesday nights, the hour that tells you everything that's happening in movies and the arts around Australia. At 7:30 on The Movie Show, Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins in Legends of the Fall, and The Bandit Queen, the most controversial Indian film ever made. Then at 8 on Imagine, Annette Chanwar reports from Wome, Adelaide on the changing face of world music. Learn to surf with Mitch Farrelly helping to found a new beach museum, and meet an unlikely blacksmith. The Movie Show at 7:30 and Imagine at 8, Wednesday nights on SBS.
Someday, when I get a big promotion, I'm going to use some of the money I earn to do some good in this world.
Someday. It's a wonderful thought. But for children born into poverty, few of us can ever imagine someday won't be soon enough. Fortunately, there are many people in this world who didn't wait to help. Instead, they called the number on the screen to sponsor a child through Christian Children's Fund. Please write the number down while I introduce you to Jedutich.
Life is extremely difficult in the dry bush country where Jedutich lives. The family has a hut, some goats, but very little else. Yet thanks to the $30 a month his sponsor sends to CCF, Jedutich is able to attend school near his home. He also receives basic medical care and nutritious meals.
This young man's sponsor is not a wealthy person. She simply saw a need and responded.
Call now and we'll send a photo and story of a child whose life you can change for just $30 a month.
On Thursday, a film about the fine line between the present and the past.
Et cette odeur dont je m'imprègne entraînant de longues inspirations silencieuses. Plus tard, je serai le mari d'une coiffeuse.
And the twists and ironies of fate.
Ne tenant plus, je me dirigeais vers cette femme avec qui j'étais sûr de passer le restant de mes jours.
Two people determined to live only in the moment.
C'est bon ce que vous me faites. Ça pourrait durer des heures.
Mais nous ne sommes pas pressés, monsieur Donnecker.
A hymn to human idiosyncrasy and the power of love. The Hairdresser's Husband. Your movie of the week. 9:30 Thursday. Friday night on SBS, Magic Johnson and his All-Stars have arrived down under. The legends of basketball are set to clash with Australia. Will the skill and enthusiasm of the Australians be enough to conquer the size, speed and experience of the Americans? Basketball at its best. Australia meets Magic Johnson and his All-Stars. Direct from the Melbourne Tennis Centre, Friday night, exclusive to SBS.
Welcome back to the Clipsal Powerhouse in Adelaide. A reminder to stay tuned to SBS through the series and give yourself a chance to win one of 20 Magic Johnson prize packs. Now let's join our commentator, Phil Lynch.
The Boomers down by 12 as we go into the second half.
I think we're going to have that one again. That was a fairly ugly attempt at a tip-off. John George and Magic have a pretty good laugh about it. See if Magic can test this one. He didn't contest the start of the first half. He did contest that time, but Ricky Grace it is who handles it for Australia. So Grace has taken over that quarterback role at the start of the third quarter from Brett Maher.
This is Reedy. Had no joy at all. He's very hesitant about putting up a shot.
Smart defense there from Mark Aguirre too. And Patrick Reedy, well, that was a tough shot to try and make. And now the All-Stars off and running again. Reedy has to come back and play defense on Magic. Tough assignment when you've got to score and guard this man as well. Drew the double team, and that's when the foul goes. And then no basket, the referee says. Referee Carolyn Gillespie said no basket.
Well, Magic not too happy. Double team, threw up the prayer, and look at this for a lucky bounce.
It's not a bad ask either for the continuation.
And that is not good news for Andrew Vlahoff. 4 fouls.
4 fouls for him. Magic now taking on Davis. And Reedy it is who cuts it out. Looking to take on his man, but the behind-the-back dribble didn't go for him. George wanted it underneath. They wouldn't give it to him with Aguirre playing behind. That's really when Long John wants the ball. He's not going to get opportunities like that too often. Mark Davis pumps the shot up over the top, but pumps it short.
Magic with the rebound. The quick outlet pass to Long. They run it quickly. McGee, 2 points.
Well, ask the question whether their legs might tire. Well, they've gotten a little bit of a break at half-time to pump some energy back into it. 69 plays 55. This is the danger period right here for the Australian Boomers. They've got to get stuck into this game right here, or the game will either get away from them or make it awfully tough at the end.
They need to work the ball around, take percentage shots, getting close to the basket. Vlahoff for 2.
And again, he had his man behind him. As soon as they see someone with his man behind him in the paint, they've got to put the ball in his hands.
Leading by example, the skipper Andrew Vlahoff, one of only 2 Boomers who'll be playing in all 5 matches that we'll be bringing to you. Grace with the steal. They're off and running.
Poor pass from Ricky Grace because it was meant for Patrick Reedy. But in fact, they said it came off Reedy last. I thought it might have touched Lester Connor. But a turnover there by Ricky Grace.
Lester Connor, 674 NBA games with 5 clubs. He brings the ball up for the All-Stars. Long to Magic, looking for someone. Finds McGee. Can't buy 2 points.
Nice to spot up outside the circle when you've got something like Magic handling the ball. Again, Patrick Reedy. 2 points go to John George. I'm not sure where that one's going to fall through anyway, but Reedy is just having a horrible night with his shooting. Johnson under some intimidation from George that time. Quick ball up into the hands of Davis. Dumping, trying to find Reedy down low.
The Boomers maintain possession. They are within 10. A score here, it's going to get them closer than they have been for quite some time.
There's George. He's got Aguirre behind. Gets the hook up there and in. So the last couple of times down the floor, they've played some smart plays.
And John George's height is going to worry the All-Stars. They have, of course, Patrick Eddy sitting on the bench, their tallest boy, but at the moment, shooting from outside, Mark Aguirre has the hot hand.
Great example of both ends there of the problems either team could cause for one another. Aguirre at one end, George at the other, but then Vlahoff comes back with a great little lay-in.
And you may have seen Mark Aguirre still going on with the referee Michael Butler there. He wasn't happy with the treatment from John George, and they're at it again.
Aguirre and George.
No love
really
lost there.
Trying to knock each other around underneath the hoop.
Give me the ball, he said. I want to take this man on.
George has been suckered in.
Well, they clashed at the other end of the court at the last play. Aguirre spoke to Michael Butler, obviously didn't get the right response and went straight back up.
It took his own action.
Into him.
Took his own action. It's still on underneath. There's still plenty of pushing and shoving.
Wow.
Aguirre dumps across. Magic. John Long, as they switch it through hands. Aguirre outside the circle this time, and Dorge was late to him. And there's a real push and shove back there with Aguirre and Dorge.
They are not friends at all. If we thought this match was going to be an exhibition, well, you were wrong. Ricky Grace can't make it go. Aguirre, again, he is everywhere. Finds Long. McGee's free. He'll go himself.
Reedy cut the pass out. Davis did well to settle that one down. Then fires the shot up. Couldn't quite make it. That will be an Australian ball because Patrick Reedy put the pressure on Lester Connor.
Well, things are starting to roll with the Boomers at the moment. 8 points is the margin. It was out by 20 at one stage. Blahoff, it's short.
Aguirre just shoved Dorge right out of the paint. He shoved him a good 15 feet. And Magic goes right past Dorge. 19-point ball game. And now Blahoff fired that one up, I think, a little before he should. He was looking at the scoreline and saying, we've got to reduce this in a hurry.
The Magic Man goes to the hoop. Can't buy Aguirre. Good tap.
Oh, what a pass that would have been had it come off.
The no-look pass from Magic, but the Boomers were watching Blakemore. Stops, props, hits for two.
And that is right on the end of Chris Blakemore's range. They needed a basket on that play. Now they need a stop desperately. In fact, they need a couple in a row. Magic against Davis and forces the foul. Can't get the roll, but Magic will go to the line. What a night he's had at the line so far. He's 10 of 10 from the charity stripe. Have a look at it again. Just works them over. Had 3 fouls to Mark Davis, and all from the smarts of Magic Johnson. 5 assists, 10 of 10 off the line.
That should be fair.
16 points.
And has orchestrated this team very professionally, both as coach and captain here this evening.
John, you've got to love the way he handles himself off court too. In our press conferences today, he is just a consummate professional.
Thorough gentleman. Blakemore is hot. Will he shoot? No.
They found him outside the three-point circle. The Brett Maher, it just wouldn't fall for him.
On your home court as well, you think those sort of things might fall.
Connor runs this one down and stops and pops and can't hit it. So it's shifting the ball up and down the floor fairly quickly now, which is a game which will suit the Magic Johnson All-Stars. That's the kind of game they love to play. Not so much Australia, though.
Ricky Grace
down by 25 in a hurry.
Grace was being patient there. He went inside to Mark Davis. The pass wasn't all that good. They're going to have to put a shot up. Ricky Grace goes baseline. Oh, neat touch.
They were looking for him to drive and dish. Nobody thought he was going to take the shot, except Ricky.
Marshall Henry, heavy work under the basket. He's been picked up. Offensive foul.
Yeah, defensive position taken there by Mark Davis, and he hasn't done himself any good either.
Substitution.
Mark might have gotten a bit of a cork here. Have a look at this. You see the knee go up, and it got Mark right in the stomach and didn't do him a lot of good, but he's okay by the look of things.
Mike Mackay, the 36er in his hometown here in Adelaide, checks back into the game. Only 4 points. A quiet night so far for Mike Mackay, but can light it up from outside three-point range. That's what the Boomers need.
Yeah, Mike can be very streaky. He hit 3 or 4 in a row, and they really need him to do it right now.
They trail by 15, the Boomers. 3:52 remaining in the third term here. Need to reduce the deficit and need to think about doing it pretty quickly. Ma shoots the 3. Again, can't make it.
That one came off, well, I thought it was off the Boomers' hands. Magic appealed the referee, Jeff Weeks, and he pointed the other way. See the look on the big man's face.
He told us today he was here to win, and that said it all.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't do anything half-hearted at all.
It's a mark of a champion. It is why he was so successful in the NBA from his rookie season. As Blahoff hits.
That particular move there They came out to run a first option shuffle cut, came out and set the pick, but the further the pick came out, Blahoff just backed it almost into the stands to shoot that one.
And it was all net. Blahoff has 18. He leads the Boomers. Mark Aguirre has 28 for the All-Stars, a game high.
Brett Wheeler and Reedy back. Davis and Blahoff out for the Boomers.
Magic goes to work here. Looking for the option.
Now Aguirre and Blakemore going at it. Aguirre finds the man underneath the hoop and they fouled him. That
Great
was
Marshall Henry.
On the arm, we've got 2. Substitution coming in.
Henry will go to the stripe to shoot a pair.
Okay, next time you've got to come in.
Sweet move. Spun around Brett Wheeler there. Put up the shot. Drew the foul.
Okay, we've got 2 shots.
Aguirre and Blakemore having plenty to say to one another out there. So I think Blakemore's going to take over from where John Dodge left off.
And right here in front of us, Mark Aguirre is having a chat to Carolyn Gillespie. Wants to know what is going on. It's getting physical out there. Every time they rough Mark Aguirre up, though, he seems to hit another basket. Leave him alone.
Loves it. Absolutely loves it. Just like for Charles Barkley. Loves to play it as physical as they want.
Give me the ball, he is shouting as he stands. This is Blakemore. Been impressive so far. Reedy hasn't had the best of nights. They're working around to Mackay, the three-point specialist. He gets it.
Well, the last 2 times, the Aussies have come down and run their offense to perfection. Barry Barnes will be particularly pleased about that. Aguirre again, up against Wheeler, but the second effort. That's the difference with a pro. You can stop them once, but they'll keep coming at you.
There may be something in this. At the moment, we have 4 Adelaide 36ers on the floor. They're playing much better as a team. Reedy is the odd man out. He finds Mackay, he turns and shoots.
Very much an off-balance shot there from Mike Mackay.
Here's Jim Farmer. Marshall Henry.
Oh, look at those passes. Outstanding passing.
They'll set it up. Aguirre will shoot it. He is
on the ground. Right here, side.
We've got a side ball, I think. Very tough job for Brett Wheeler. Brett is still a young man learning the game and comes up against the bloke who's been right through the mill in the pros. Very, very tough to handle. But Australia over the limit on fouls now, so Aguirre goes to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
2 minutes remaining. Third quarter action here from the Clipsal Powerhouse in Adelaide. It is 88-75. The Magic Johnson All-Stars lead it now by 14.
And 31 points for this man, the highest scorer for the ball game.
Very impressive performance from Mark Aguirre. He's done it outside, he's done it inside. Michael Eaton has 5 points for the All-Stars. This is Blakemore. He wants 2, can't get it. All-Stars turn the ball over. Mars got it. Here's Brett Wheeler, the young Adelaide star. Gets his own rebound? No.
That will be an Australian ball though. Brett Wheeler fairly ambitious with that shot. They had 4-on-1 there. He might have put the ball on the floor and taken to the hoop, drawn the defense out and dumped to someone was the go. Got a little bit of a rush of blood.
They need a score here, the Boomers. Under 30 seconds left here in the third term. Reedy goes inside. It's blocked away from Wheeler, and Jim Farmer picks it up. Hands to Magic, who says 27 seconds left. 92-75. It's a 17-point lead at this stage.
And a 1-second differential on the shot clock, so they can take this one right down, and they'll shoot it with about 5 seconds to go. That's why Magic's taking all the time off the clock right now. Almost dumped to nobody. In fact, that should be a white ball. Yeah, I think Michael Butler's right there. You see the time remaining, just under 10 seconds, and it will be a white ball.
Unlucky there for the Boomers. They could have done with that as Farmer gets the ball. Goes inside. Offensive foul. Jim Farmer, his second. He can't believe it.
Now, Australia has 6 seconds left to score this thing now. Plenty of time to get the ball down the floor and get a decent shot off. But they have to make 2 good passes in doing that.
Ideally, you would want it in Mackay's
But look at the defense. We'll see the defense come. Look at the defense come right up on and make it tough to bring the ball up the floor.
Well done, Brett Maher. He's around 3. Dishes. Reedy and Mars. No!
1 from 12 to Pat Reedy for the game, and that can be the difference. 92 plays 75. A very big ask for Australia in the final quarter at the Clipsal Powerhouse in Game 1 of the series.
When I was growing up in Japan, people always told me I was strange. You're too loud. Can't you be more feminine?
Wednesday on About Us, Ripples of Change.
女は子供を産み、子供を育てる。
Stripping away the veneer of calm conformity to reveal a complex and incisive...
Stars and the Boomers. Magic arrived in town today, greeted by hundreds of fans.
I'm right with you.
Hundreds of Magic fans turned out today to greet their superstar. Magic takes the adulation in his stride and also his interviews. Terrific response here in Perth for you?
Yeah, it was great. You know, all these fans coming out to the airport, trying to sign all their autographs and see all their smiles is really wonderful, and I'm happy about that.
Magic didn't play in last night's fourth All-Stars Boomers clash, sidelined through a calf injury. The game went to extra time before the All-Stars snuck home by 3 points, after at one stage trailing by as many as 20 during the second period.
I think both teams have got out of what they want. I mean, excellent games. The fans haven't been cheated, and it's been wonderful.
The medical staff will decide tomorrow whether Magic Johnson plays in the fifth and final match of the tour. He did make one promise. He wants to come back to Perth.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night to the last game?
Yeah, it's going to be a great game, and we're going to come back, and I think, yeah, I hope so. It's not my decision, but I think that we'll come back to Perth. I heard the game is sold out, and I'm sure we'll be back, and hopefully come back and stay a couple of days instead of in and out.
That's great news. Former world champ Barton Lynch is taken out this year.
Farmer picks it up. Eaton, back to Farmer. Sweet stuff. 2 points.
That is the difference in the calibre of players. I mean, we're talking about big-time pros here. They run breaks like that. They always get there too. Mike Mackay put himself under a lot of pressure to try and make that shot. He had a three without pressure to begin with, took it inside and made it tough.
This is Marshall Henry with the ball. He feeds Michael Eaton. Wheeler, mismatch there. And Eaton clean bowls the 6'11" centre, Patrick Eddy.
It was interesting because the offence they were running was exactly the same as the Australians were running back at the other end. And they ran it with a little variation, but the ball opened up for Eddy, but unfortunately his legs opened up as well.
Has spent most of the evening on the bench.
Yellow.
Michael Eaton had the quick hands in there on Brett Maher. But I'm looking to see whether they go to Wheeler and see if they can force Eddy into some defence, because I reckon they can work him over on the inside, but I'm not sure whether Brett Wheeler's the man to do it right now.
Mackay to Maher to Wheeler, the Adelaide connection. They move the ball around. This is the skipper Vlahoff looking to shoot. Tough defence, he goes inside.
And we've got a hold. It's come on from Farmer. Farmer is called. He reckoned that Andrew Vlahoff was hooking him with the elbow, but the referee has seen it the other way. That's Farmer's third. So Australia down by 19 now. Need to put something in the hole.
The foul count at this stage, the All-Stars have given up just 10 fouls all game. The Boomers twice that amount, 20. Vlahoff.
Andrew has shot more threes in this game than I've seen him shoot in a lot of games. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that that Andrew Gaze isn't here. And Vlahoff and Farmer are going at it on the baseline. Oh, big move there, and a charge called against Patrick Eddy. On the baseline, what a good move that is.
Joe Small.
It's Small, when there didn't seem to be a path through, but they found a way.
9:45 remaining, final quarter. The Boomers in trouble.
Big jump hook there from Blakemore. That was an ambitious shot from Chris. But he fashioned the shot to make two.
A touch of irony there. It was Kareem and then Magic that made that shot famous in the Lakers. Probably Chris Blakemore saw them do it on the video. Watching it at home, watching the TV, he's perfected it himself. He has been impressive tonight. 14 points to his name in front of his home crowd. And at 20 years of age, certainly a player with a big, big future.
3 fouls for Rees.
They've been very professional, have played very, very smart here this evening, the All-Stars, but you'd expect that with Magic Johnson in charge. Marshall Henry props, misses. Blakemore comes up with the rebound. Ricky Grace shoots in the situation. Oh, and he comes up with the block. Joe Small to Farmer. The dunk for 2. The job is right in front of the Boomers here. The All-Stars have a 21-point break. And Reedy...
You got him on the hack.
Rees, who came over the back and picked up the offensive board, is rewarded with a trip to the free throw line with the foul on Joe Small. Small biting off a bit more than he can chew there. Joe, who's every bit of about 6'1", taking on Paul Rees. And I remember me commenting just a couple of minutes ago of the problems he caused him at the other end. Well, Big Paul has his answer down here.
Joe Small making his debut with the All-Stars. This team is 34-0. They came to Australia unbeaten. They are likely to extend it here this evening to 35-0. Eight minutes remaining.
Ricky Grace and Chris Blakemore out there playing together at the moment. You've got to like both their games. They've both done a lot of things right. Very impressed with Ricky Grace with the ball, receiving it back right now. Blakemore wanted it on the paint. They're going to soak up some clock on this play. Rees trying to make some room there against the big man Patrick Eddy. Trapped with the foot. There'll be a new 30-second count.
Okay, can you come on? We've got a wet patch.
The new 30-second counts aren't what Australia needs at the moment. They need to put the ball in the hole and make quick stops at the other end. This time is really starting to work against them right now. 7.5 minutes to go and a 19-point deficit. At the moment, they're looking at keeping it respectable, I think.
Still can't afford to take low percentage shots. They go inside. And, well, again we see it.
Well, Eddie was really rewarded for his endeavour that time, and he brought his coach up off the bench, Magic Johnson, to applaud him for chasing that ball and came up with rewards because Rees couldn't make the catch.
Magic stands in front of us here coaching the team. He seems to be enjoying his role. Didn't enjoy that shot as Reedy goes to the hoop and at last
hits the target. Second field goal of the game. But back at the other end, they immediately reply through Marshall Henry. And substitutions coming for the Boomers and the All-Stars. Lester Connor coming in. Mark Davis coming in.
Jim Farmer sits down as Lester comes in. Mike Mackay takes a spell, replaced by his 36ers teammate Mark Davis. One of the 3 naturalised Australians shooting for a spot on the Olympic team to go to Atlanta. This is Blakemore, the 20-year-old. Been a star this evening, 14 points to Rees. Grace has it now. Reedy, his confidence back, finds Grace, who shoots. And Marshall Henry, rebound, turns it over to Grace.
Tremendous steal for Ricky Grace. What an athlete that was.
Davis sets up his short.
But just everything's out of sync at the moment for the Aussies. It's just not happening. The ball's not in the right people's hands at the right time. They've got numbers this time, see if they can make it. Patrick Reedy with a handoff. And a bit quick on the whistle there, the referees, perhaps, because Reedy made a nice little shovel pass to Chris Blakemore that was going to be an easy 2. I think if perhaps the referees could have looked at that one again, they would have withheld the whistle right there.
The crowd cheers as the Magic Man rejoins us here at the Clipsal Powerhouse in Adelaide. His side leads by 19 points, 6:18 remaining in the final quarter. I dare say he is the only captain that could walk back onto the floor here in 36's territory with his side up by 19 and get applauded.
Patrick Reedy just hit a 3. 100 plays 84. Yes, I think you're right about Magic there, John. I mean, these people have all come to see one man play tonight. There's no doubt about that. And they want to see as much of him as they can.
Has not disappointed the fans. Has 18 points.
That'll be foul, I think, against Ricky Grace because Patrick Reedy got it nice and clean and looked up at the referee, but Ricky got him across the arm. And Eaton will go to the free throw line. He showed some hops too to go up and get that.
A 6-footer. Toured with the All-Star team on their matches in the USA, now down under. And making a name for himself. I'm sure we're going to see much more of him during this series. And I think I'm right in saying that most people would have thought this match would have been a lot closer affair than it has been.
I thought it would be, but just looking at that free throw miss there of Michael Eaton's, and what a free throw team this is. 25 of 28 there made. Mark Davis with 2. He's made plenty of that shot in his career. And the Aussies really needed that one.
Been impressive. Marshall Henry has a good leap. Davis pulls in a big rebound. Runs the floor. Now he finds Grace. Not too much movement in offense from the Boomers. Now Blakemore says, I'll take the shot. Grace almost with an unbelievable rebound. And the scrap is on. Who wants the ball? It is in there somewhere.
Well, the crowd love it here. Put that down to Chris Blakemore, though. It was Blakemore who went after the ball and wasn't going to stop till he heard that whistle. He just stayed after it. Some people would have said, there's no way I can get this and let it go. Not Blakemore. He just really went for that ball. Have a look at him scrap there.
The only man that could stop them was actually Paul Westhead when he took over as coach and tried to stop it, and he was shown the door very quickly, and Pat Riley stepped in.
Good move. Chris Blakemore with an emphatic dunk. There's some bite left in the Boomers yet.
That's a confidence builder. They needed that in the last couple of minutes here as they look toward the other matches. Blakemore has been most impressive on his home court. Magic finds Farmer, who hits.
How many times have we said that, John? Magic finds someone who hits. It's purely because he puts the ball in their hands at exactly the time that the shooter wants it.
The clock ticks down. Less than 2 minutes remaining. The All-Stars lead it by 19. Here's the skip of Vlahoff, working hard, as he has all night, and still continues to do. He has been an inspiration. He is going to be one of the stars for Australia in Atlanta, and all set for another big season with the Perth Wildcats.
Vlahoff asked his guards to come up the floor that time and put some pressure on the ball carrier. Ricky Grace unfortunately just had a foot on the line as he saved that one, so it'll still be an All-Stars ball. Open man again. This time he can't stick it, and Blakemore just skied for that rebound again. 7 rebounds to Blakemore. Picked up 16 points. Pretty nice game coming off the bench.
This man too started on the bench. Ricky Grace came up with 14 as his teammate Vlahoff hits a big 3.
21 to Vlahoff, but Farmer comes back and hits the 3. Talked about his three-point reputation earlier. We haven't seen a lot of it, but Jim Farmer made that look like a sweet shot.
Into the last minute here.
19 points, and interesting, that's about what it was in the opening 3 or 4 minutes of the game where the damage was done. Davis for 2.
That was a good move. Let's hope we get to see more of that when the series moves on. Our next match coming to you from Brisbane. With 35 seconds remaining here, the All-Stars lead at 113 to 96.
So this might be the last offense we see from the Magic Johnson All-Stars. He takes the big 3. No. I think it's the only 3 he's taken all game, and that was a shot that he made his bread and butter with the Los Angeles Lakers. Wanted to make that one just to finish it off clinically. So last play here for the Boomers.
This is Reedy.
3 seconds left. Gets the shot up and in for Mark Davis. So Mark Davis finishes off for the Australian Boomers. They've gone down by 15 points, but I think the crowd here at the Clipsal Powerhouse is going to be happy with both teams. One, they've seen a show from the Magic Johnson All-Stars, and two, they've seen a Boomers team that never gave up all night. 113 to 98.
Well, we thought that the All-Stars may run out of legs as Magic and Barry Barnes, the opposing coaches, shake hands. There was never any hint that that was going to be the case. Magic has been the star. He has led this team very professionally. And the Boomers, well, have some homework to do before we head to Brisbane.
Hi, I'm Tony Palumbo. Don't forget to join me every Sunday night at 11 for a different kind of sports program, SBS Radio Sport. Get the latest on national and international sport on SBS Radio, all over Australia.
-1 hour.